Hey, I'm Frank.
And I'm Anthony.
And we're with Rodeo Rewind, and we're here with Miss Taylor. You are the music director for
I am.
PBR on the Velocity Tour?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
we have never interviewed a music director.
Well, I am honored to be the first one. I love it.
Will Richard Jones be upset?
Probably.
Will you rag him a little?
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, any questions?
So, our first question is there any coordination between you and the entertainer?
Absolutely. It is very imperative that the entertainer and I have a lot of communication. Luckily, the entertainer here tonight is Robbie Hodges. I have grown up with him my entire life, and we work together very often, so I kind of know where he's going to go in certain directions, and he kind of knows where I'm going to go. So, and I know kind of when he runs out of words, so that I can step in and kind of pick him up and help him out. So, absolutely.
Now, do you banter together?
We do sometimes, yeah. Yeah, he's a big Satellites fan, Georgia Satellites.
Okay.
So we got to throw a little bit of that in there. Some Leonard
right.
Skinner for him.
Okay.
He picks it up every time.
And then, so the writers, they always
Does it
prefer
matter the
songs.
song?
Right.
Do they tell you, like, I really like this?
There's certain writers that do come up to me and they're like, hey, I really think that I'll write a whole lot better if you just play this song. Does it always work out? No.
Do any
No,
of
it
them
does
pick,
not.
like, slow, sappy songs?
There is one Brazilian, Junio Charisma, who he
Charisma
requested.
like, throws them out.
Yes, yeah. He requests. It's all a Portuguese song, but it's very slow and moving. But it hasn't seemed to work for him yet. So I don't know.
And then you had a question about TV and
Yeah,
coordinating
so
that.
because it's on Pluto,
It is.
right? And you have to kind of, it's different than watching it on like CBS Sports or watching
Right.
like the finals, right? There's a different production that happens, right?
Yes,
Because it's
yeah.
kind of like at home, we're just watching it with the fans and we get to hear the arena. And how do you play it so that because you're playing it kind of, you have to entertain people on their couch and people
Right.
and the couch audience is bigger, oddly.
Yeah, usually. So there is actually a lot of copyrights that you have to kind of pay attention to.
We
So-
struggle with that
Yeah,
too.
Yes,
tonight was
yes.
hard. We thought you played music longer stretches, so we couldn't talk during the event very much.
Right.
And then it was like, all right, I think like if we only get like 8 seconds, no
Yeah.
one will give us too much of a hard time.
So you got to try to make sure that you don't play too much of something because you don't want it to get flagged, and I don't want it to get us in trouble. So we actually
we'll get
use
flagged.
yeah.
Not
So-
really. We haven't been punished yet by the YouTube
Good,
folks. But,
good.
But
And then when we were in Cheyenne once, we were on the main drag there, and there was a flute player playing
oh yeah.
a copyrighted song, and we were interviewing some of the people on the Missouri team,
Yeah.
and they got flagged
And they
because
got
they were
Flag,
playing.
They
but
got
then
Gotcha.
the artist was like, no, it's okay. Or so representative of the artist was like, no, we're good.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to entertaining the people on the couch, really, they don't get to hear a very clear feed of it coming
Yeah.
through. We have to use the ambient mics in the arena.
Yep.
So you hear a lot of, I like to think you hear more of the crowd singing than you do the actual tracks. So we just got to be a little careful, but you don't play too much of anything at one time. And,
So
and you're good.
what's your tip for us to not get in music trouble?
Royalty-free music.
We do it. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah, we do a lot.
Royalty-free
And
is the
there's
way
so
to
much
go.
of it, right?
It is,
It's
and
pretty-
there's really good stuff out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Do you have something that you need to hear every night before the night is over?
Yes.
What is it?
Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson.
You played
It's
it.
what I close my show out to every night. It gives me a second to kind of take everything in and reflect on what happens, and you just take a breath and just let MJ just take you away.
And then
I have two other questions. What do you got?
So we'll end with my question.
Okay.
'cause-
Two questions.
Okay.
One, were you a Western sports athlete?
I really wasn't. I started running sound and being a music director when I was 11 years old. Yes.
He's 13.
Yeah.
And he does the
We do
news
the
at his
news
school.
at our-
That's
And
awesome.
last summer he was like, what am I going to do in the summer?
I love it.
And we started traveling, and and it was hilarious because the first time we're like, I'm like, dude, I will take you anywhere. I will help you. I will do whatever you tell me I need to do.
That's really
But
cool.
you have to fill out the first form. Now I'll fill out press credential forms too, but the first time I'm like, dude, you gotta fill out the
Yeah, you
PBR
gotta
press
learn.
credential form.
Yep.
And we give them our like YouTube channel that really has like nothing on it yet. And we get here back, and they're like, "Yeah, no, you
And
guys can
we have
come."
like 83 people, I think.
Yeah, we've
I
been
love
a lot
it.
since August.
I love it. That's
And,
awesome.
And when we got to though, the summer was when it all clicked, right? The
Yeah.
ladies from PRCA and the ladies from the media team in Vegas for PBR, they were all about like, "You are a father and son. This is so cool." Scott Grover was all excited, like, "You're just trying to share a positive message about fathers and sons doing things." Yep.
And
I'm in.
I love that message because that is exactly what happened with me. My grandfather was a rodeo announcer. He basically raised me from a very, very young age. And when stuff started going off, the first rodeos were live bands. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then it went to cassette tapes and mini disc players. But then when we started advancing with the times, it got onto laptops. And when it got onto laptops, he said, "Wait a second, I don't even know how to turn a laptop on. Hey, Taylor, you're up. You want to help?" And so I did, and I was 11 years old
You know
when
who
I
you
first
would
started.
like to meet is Gail Warner Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah?
She
Gail
is an older
Gail
lady now.
Eubanks Warner. Yeah.
But we interviewed her. No video because she couldn't figure it out. But she's written a bunch of history books about Western sports. And
Very cool.
Anthony, we were at the Rodeo Hall of Fame, and he bought one of her books on.
I was out of a book to read, and we had like a few-hour drive.
Yep. And he bought a history of the Barrelman.
Oh,
And,
very cool.
And he read it, and he's like, "I wonder if I could like find her." And I'm like, "I don't know, find her. You just do it. We'll find her." And she started. They went for like a couple weeks just back and forth, emailing, and
That's
he's like,
very
"Hey,
cool.
could you do an interview?" And he got
Very
a signed book from her for Christmas. So.
Very cool.
And then, do you do music outside of rodeo?
I really
Western
don't.
sports?
I really don't. And just to circle back, I was not a Western sports athlete because I found out at such a young age that a guaranteed paycheck was way cooler.
It's way cooler, right?
Way cooler.
Yeah.
You can always knock over a barrel. You can always miss your calf, but you're going to show up and you're going to leave. You're going to leave
Oh,
with
yeah,
money.
yeah.
So
Well, when
that
I was
was-
younger,
that was
I
that.
thought a barrelman would be a fun job because I like to goof around and make
Yeah.
people smile, and I think that's why I like hanging out with my kids as a special ed teacher, right? Because they're
Yeah,
in 8th grade,
I-
they make me smile and laugh, so I feel obligated to make them smile and laugh.
I love this. I love you guys. I think that this is so cool.
But my dream job when I was in high school, I wanted to be a farrier because I thought I could hang with my dog all day long.
That's a dangerous job.
The dog
It
too.
is a dangerous job.
And have you ever seen a farrier that when they retire, they're all like
They
hunched
can't
over,
stand
right? They
up.
can't stand
Yeah,
up. Their
that's
hands
hard.
are all, but they're so important. But I was like, nope, I can't be a farrier because I was like, I like to do things too much. So, any tips? Oh, you go.
So any like tips or pieces of advice to younger people who want to get into this?
Ooh, yeah. If you start being a music director, be original, be yourself. There are so many great music directors out there, and I've noticed that a lot of young people try to imitate what they see, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's already people that do that, obviously, you know? We're always needing people that are fresh, that are innovative, so just be true to yourself and just follow your path and follow your heart on what you think that needs to happen. You just go out and do it. Don't try to be anybody else but yourself.
It's really, really good advice, right? Just be true to you because it
Just be true to
plays
you.
so much better,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Well, thank you
Absolutely.
so much. This
You're
went
so
longer than I
welcome.
thought it was going to go.
I'm here for it. I love
you
it.
did great.
Thank you.
Man, you must do media stuff for a living.
This is literally the first time I've ever done anything like this at all.
Really?
Yes.
How did we do?
Y'all did awesome. I hope I did fine.
You did.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for wanting to interview me. This
Thank
is
you.
really
Yeah.
cool.
And you're the man.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
All right.
You guys keep at this. This is very cool, the father-son
And
father-son duo.
it's hard. We're still trying to get, you know.
You want to start?
I usually do every video. Ready? Hey, I'm Frank.
And I'm Anthony.
We're with Rodeo Rewind. And actually, we should start all over because guess what? We need to get her name.
Yeah.
You want that to play?